Sicario is the rank 1 player in all of Clash of Clans, and today I'm going to show you his insane attacks with the most powerful Town Hall 17 attack strategy. I am so excited to cast these attacks for you guys. These are going to be insane. So let's start off with the Hook Tower base. Now with the Hook Tower, we cannot ward and charge that. That will end our attack. So you've got two options. You either ward and charge nowhere near it, or you have to fireball it, and believe it or not, Sicario here is going to use the fireball. Now the Flame Flinger in this army, you don't need insane value. You can see the airbow here is protecting the area, but just clearing out a few defenses, even if they're just double ricochet cannons, is really nice value. We're going to use the rocket balloons on the left side to keep clearing out defenses. The point of the rocket balloons in this army isn't to clean up the base. The point of them is to support your heroes. You're going to see that in this army, both with the Warden Charge, with the Flame Flinger, but also with the King and Queen. So as soon as this Monolith goes down, any second now, or he's waiting for the air defense to go down actually, we get all the invis spells down, pop the fireball, the CC does come out, we do get rid of the furnace at least, but most importantly, we get rid of the Hook Tower here, not going to play a part in this attack. Now we're going to go to the bottom side of the base, his Warden's just dealing with the CC, and we want our King and Queen to go the same way. So we're just going to keep using rocket balloons to funnel here. It is not up to the rocket balloons to clean up the back end of the base. Our heroes can do that for us if we properly support them. Really nice King ability there. Unfortunately, this does mean though that the King and Queen are going to go around the Town Hall. As you can see, Warden is still chilling on the top side of the base, but make sure with this attack strategy that you never look away from him, because he can go down so quickly. You'll see later in the video how much damage he can really take. But this is the most interesting thing. No Royal Champion in this attack strategy. And I asked why, because the Royal Champion with the Seeking Shield and the Rocket Spear gets so much defensive value, but she doesn't really support the rest of the army. Whereas the Minion Prince with the Dark Orb ability will help out the rest of your attack strategy. See those Yetis over there? Taking far less damage because of the Minion Prince. He does support the rest of your army, whereas the Royal Champion, she's kind of out for herself. I did ask him if he'd ever think of dropping the Queen from the army and bring the Royal Champion instead, but the Giant is kind of insane. Yet again, the Queen is supporting the rest of your army. The Minion Prince supporting the rest of the army. Sicario swags 4 spells there. What an insane start to the video, but that's just the start. Now, if you're wondering why this attack says it's from LL Sensor, that is one of Sicario's ults, and if you have a look at the leaderboard, I believe Sicario had 3 of his accounts reset inside the top 25. He's not just rank 1, he's kind of dominating the top end of the leaderboard, having an insane season. Now, you're seeing the Barchers here get some really nice value. Obviously, the Barcher troop isn't going to be around forever. In fact, by the time I post this video, it might be just about out of game. I should ask him, I might actually ask him what he's going to bring in place of that, and I'll put that in the pinned comment below. But I would assume you'd see a couple of furnaces, because the furnaces complement the Warden Charge really nicely, and then maybe an extra wizard or two. Now we're getting into the high DPS part of the base, and look at this. A rage spell is not enough, and that's why you're seeing the Warden Charge players bring less and less rage spells with the army, because it's not enough to keep the Warden alive. Use it when you need him to take down buildings quickly, rather than necessarily when you need him to heal up from the healers. So, beautiful Ice Block. Only 1 invis spell needed here, and we clear out the CC and then in that entire middle section of the base. But we also set up a really nice rest of the Warden Charge here. Not insane damage other than the Minion Prince, which by the way, you absolutely have to watch out for the Minion Prince. Make sure you play with sound on so you can hear when he targets. Beautiful timing there. That was beautiful multitasking, because he's starting his King and Queen on the top side of the base whilst this is all happening. You do need to be able to multitask to maximize this attack strategy. Flame Flinger's done amazing work on the bottom side of the base. I don't even know how he managed to get all that pathing, but good on him. Now he has got 1 hog in this army. That hog will be to look for ground skeletons or Teslas for your Flame Flinger. The King does go down very quickly. You'll find the King and Queen don't really get insane value with this army, but that is Legends mode for you, but it's absolutely better than nothing, and you do need to use your rocket balloons to support. Beautiful Dark Orb ability. Look at that, just slowing down all these defenses. And then the Metal Pants is kind of ridiculous. Air Skeletons are a problem for the Minion Prince. You do need to keep that in mind. But look at this, slowing down all the other defenses in the area. Unfortunately, the Yetis aren't really making as much use of it as they should, but it doesn't really matter. Warden's still alive on the back end of the base. If you keep your Warden alive, the only way you fail this attack strategy is time. You do need to be wary of time, but don't need to be if you're Sicario. He's crushed this base as well. Let's jump into another one. Sicario coming up against Spiz here, and Spiz, one of the top pushers. I believe this account might be his account inside the top 10, so you always know that this attack matters double. Now, we've got the Giga Bomb right here, and we really can't afford that Giga Bomb to hit the Warden. I don't believe it quite one-shots him, but it leaves him on insanely low hit points, and when every other defense is doing 20% extra damage, yeah, we can't really afford that. So have a look at this. 3 rocket balloons, activates the Giga Bomb, and that Monolith takes a lot of damage as well. But most importantly, our Warden is fine. And as I keep saying to you, the rocket balloons are just to support the rest of your army. So using even 3 of them, it seems like a lot. It is absolutely worth it. Now, I haven't shown him using the rocket balloons with the Flame Flinger yet, but this base is symmetrical, so there will be 2 mortars here, and he would have taken those down with the rocket balloons. Never be afraid to use them. You've got up to 15 of them in this attack strategy. Alright, we stop the Warden here. That's a ridiculous fireball. Woo! I wasn't sure if it was going to go there or if it was going to go to this expo, but Sicario is the pro, I am not. And nicely done with the Warden charge there. Unfortunately, I think he thought the Warden would go left. Generally, you want your Warden to go one way and then your heroes to go the other way because, you know, it's not helping, right? Particularly when time is such an issue. Oh my word. I didn't even know that spiky ball happened. That's one of the more ridiculous spiky balls you'll ever see. Nice rocket balloons on the left side. But you don't need your Warden and your King and Queen to go together. You can already see what's going to happen here. This is a beautiful lineup for the Dark Orb ability. Nice. Even gets the Crusher Mortar. That's literally on the other side of the base. Bro, the Dark Orb is... Dark Orb is so ridiculous. Minion Prince doing his best. The Poison Tower does hurt a little bit, but it's just clearing out so much of the base. And look at this. The rocket balloons, unfortunately, they get hit so hard by the traps, but they are helped out by the Dark Orb there. That multi-archer tower was slowed down. The Giant, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's so good. It's kind of why the action figure is strong, because you just get so many, 23,000 extra hit points on the battlefield. Those Yetis from the Flame Flinger don't even see battle. We swag another 3 spells here on one of the top pushers in the game. If you want to see more of Sicario, I recommend you subscribe to his YouTube channel. He posts a lot of his attacks. What better place to learn than literally the best fireball rocket balloon player in the world? And speaking of that, let's jump into the next attack where he's going to use a log launcher. Some people think that just because there's an invis tower, you have to fireball the center of the base. But look at this fireball value here. That's pretty tasty. We also damage the Minion Prince as well. And if you have a look at this base, have a look at these anti-Flame Flinger defenses. They're positioned pretty well around the base. Now, we could Flame Flinger all of this if we wanted, but he's actually going to end up Warden charging that anyway. You can see he's using the Barcher troops to funnel his Warden to the left. So given the Flame Flinger wasn't going to get any value anyway, let's bring the log launcher, and we're going to use that to activate the invis tower in the center of the base. So Warden's doing a great job. Barchers... yes, obviously the Barchers will be gone from in-game in a few days. I'll ask Sicario and see what he's going to bring in their place. Nice wall break on the right-hand side. You're about to see how important multitasking is. So we put the rocket balloons and the baby dragon down to set a tighter funnel. Then Ice Golem King and Queen are going to come in here. And any second now, he's going to have to put an invis spell down on his Warden. Have a look at that. Beautifully done. Really nice multitasking. Now let's focus on the log launcher here. Obviously, the log launcher, we don't need it to open the walls. We've got the earthquake boots for that, but we also don't need the king or queen to go into the center. What we want is them to set a funnel, and then the three Yetis out of the log launcher here are going to take down the town hall. The pre-rage comes in. Now, unfortunately, the rage tower hasn't been set off, and you're going to see here how strong the rage tower is. It kind of hits like a truck. Watch the, you're going to see the giant here. It's on the verge of getting wrecked, and then have a look at the minion prince. The minion prince genuinely saves the giant's life. That monolith is hitting so much more slowly. Amazing, and that's just a perfect showcase of how nice the metal pants is in this attack strategy. Jelly helps the minion prince target all the buildings we need him to, and look at how many swag spells there are. 4 swag spells, but not because we fireball at the invis tower part of the base, but because we systematically pull it apart, the log launcher, but in particular, the minion prince with the dark orb is kind of insane. Final attack of the video here, we're back to Sicario's main account, and he's taking on Yata. Yata has been inside the top 10 all season. In fact, if you want to see some of Yata's attacks, we did a video on that already. I'll link it above me now, and I'll probably link it at the end of the video as well. Yata is insane. He's coming in with the RC charge into Root Riders, doing it a little bit differently though, and we love to see it. So, Warden charge coming in from Sicario here. Now, double Rage Tower bases terrify me. So let's see how Sicario is able to take this one down, because the center of this base is kind of, it's kind of ridiculous. Now, Rage Towers are really good at getting low % defenses, but once you kind of master your attack strategy, most of the best players in the world can take it down. Flame Flinger on the top side here, by the way. We've got a ground bow there. It's literally going to get 3 defensive buildings, but that's enough. That is all you need with your Flame Flinger. It's better than bringing a Siege Barracks. It's better than bringing any other option. Here comes the Fireball. I think he was just making sure it wouldn't go down to the Expo you see at the bottom here. And look at that entire core of the base. I like that he didn't settle for an easy Fireball. He goes for the deeper one, and he's going to reap the rewards. You see the Yetis come out of the Flame Flinger. That's completely fine. And then the rocket balloons pull the Warden towards the Town Hall. I don't know if this was deliberate or not. I'm going to assume it was, because, you know, this is Sicario, one of the best attackers in the world, and the best attacker so far this season in Legends League. Warden charge is going after the Town Hall here. Beautifully done. And whilst this has all been going on, I've completely missed the King and Queen dive. I'm so sorry about that. This is probably the hardest attack to commentate, because look at this. It's all over the base. Bruh, how am I meant to follow any of this? The Minion Prince ability goes off slightly early. I think he would have wanted it right now. I just don't think it would have made it that long. But look at this. Hopefully the Metal Pants here can negate the Giga Bomb. Oh, that's just rude. That's just rude. It's not going to matter in the end. All the other troops on the battlefield benefiting from this nice Minion Prince. And that is another 3-star. Thank you to Sicario for sharing your attacks today. Absolutely insane. Make sure you go to and subscribe to his YouTube channel like I showed before, because, I mean, if we're not going to support one of the best players in the world in Legends League, who are we going to support?